Trump promises peace from the Knesset. But Tehran clamps down fast, ordering its media to spin no optimism and guard against enemy psychological warfare. A president of peace or war, not both, warns Iran. Moscow steps in with jets and deals. Can Trump's olive branch survive sanctions, strikes and secrets? United States President Donald Trump, on October 13th, stood before the Israeli Knesset with a carefully crafted message. He extended what appeared to be an open hand toward Tehran, suggesting that Washington was ready for peace after months of military escalation. But within hours, Iran's power structure moved swiftly to contain any hope this message might spark at home. Iran's Supreme National Security Council, obtained by Iran International, sent an urgent directive to domestic media. The message was stark and revealing about how Tehran views Trump's rhetoric.
Trump's remarks in the parliament of the Zionist regime, along with certain claims such as pursuing peace, making a deal with Iran, and attempting to influence the media environment, make it necessary for colleagues to exercise vigilance regarding the enemy's psychological warfare.
It also urged media outlets to provide analytical coverage of Trump's remarks and not simply repeat or amplify his statements.
Any optimistic view or excitement over a possible shift in the U.S. approach could send wrong signals abroad, harm the economy, and undermine national unity.
But Tehran's skepticism ran deeper than just containing hope. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi further accused Trump of being fed false information by Israel itself.
It is more than clear by now that POTUS has been badly fed the fake line that Iran's peaceful nuclear program was on the verge of weaponization this spring. That is simply a big lie, and he should have been informed that there is zero proof of that, as confirmed by his own intelligence community.
Responding to Trump's remark that Iran had been the bully of the Middle East, Araghchi wrote,
"The real bully of the Middle East, Mr. President, is the same parasitic actor that has long been bullying and milking the United States."
Then came the ultimatum, presented in stark terms. Araghchi stated,
"Mr. Trump can either be a president of peace or a president of war, but he cannot be both at the same time."
In his address to the Knesset, Trump turned his attention directly to Iran's leadership. He spoke with the confidence of a deal-maker who believed he could bend circumstances to his will. Trump said,
"Yet even to Iran, whose regime has inflicted so much death on the Middle East, the hand of friendship and cooperation is open." I'm telling you, they want to make a deal. That's all I do in my life. I make deals. I'm good at it. I've always been good at it. And I know when they want. We are ready when you are, and it will be the best decision that Iran has ever made. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
But Trump's olive branch arrived with the weight of recent violence attached to it. In June of this year, the United States joined Israel in launching strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Iran's foreign ministry responded with anger and a question that captured the fundamental contradiction in the American position.
How can one attack the residential areas and nuclear facilities of a country in the midst of political negotiations, kill more than 1,000 people, including innocent women and children, and then demand peace and friendship?
The statement went further to accuse Washington of being a leading producer of terrorism and a supporter of the terrorist and genocidal Zionist regime.
The desire for peace and dialogue expressed by the U.S. president is at odds with the hostile and criminal behavior of the United States towards the Iranian people.
Yet despite the harsh language, Araghchi signaled that Iran remained willing to negotiate. He wrote,
"Iran has always been open to respectful and mutually beneficial diplomatic engagement. The noble heirs of an ancient, rich civilization, the Iranian people respond to goodwill with goodwill."
The caveat was implicit but unmistakable. Without that goodwill demonstrated through actions rather than words, no talks would happen. As the diplomatic standoff deepened, a parallel development was quietly reshaping the regional security picture. Russia, heavily sanctioned itself and deeply aligned against Western interests, moved to fill the military void that Iran's isolation has created. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov declared on Monday that Moscow faced no restrictions in advancing military cooperation with Tehran. According to reports from RIA Novosti, Lavrov stated,
As for our military and technical cooperation with Iran, after the UN sanctions were lifted, we have no limitations. So we are supplying the equipment that the Islamic Republic of Iran needs in full accordance with international law. I am repeating that this is being done in compliance with international law.
Intelligence and defense sources indicated that Iran had already signed a roughly €6 billion deal to purchase 48 Su-35 fighter jets from Russia, with deliveries expected between 2026 and 2028. Iranian lawmakers claimed that Russian MiG-29 fighter jets had already begun arriving in Iran as part of an interim reinforcement of Tehran's aging air force. The urgency behind Iran's acquisition plans reflected real vulnerability. After Israeli strikes earlier this year, Iran lost its last Russian-provided S-300 air defense systems. Those same systems were originally acquired from Russia in 2016. Now, with new equipment promised, Iran was attempting to rebuild capabilities that had been systematically degraded through months of military confrontation. The convergence of events pointed toward a predictable trajectory. As Trump extended one hand in peace while maintaining military pressure, Iran turned toward Russia, a partner with its own reasons to resist American influence. The question hanging over all of this was whether Trump's eventual negotiations, should they materialize, would account for the military partnerships Iran was now forging with Moscow. History suggested they might not.